Unfortunately, for those who are in time and distance still without upfront fares, they are lowering rates, Uber is, and changing the service fees. So, yeah.
Okay, this is two. One came to me. One, I grabbed it off Twitter. So the one on the left, I grabbed it off Twitter. And Coast to Coast host, one of the hosts at Coast to Coast Drivers Space on X, Boston driver, Matt, posted that up with the circle and the arrow, which clearly, this is where I'm going to talk shit about Harry. So hold on, people.
Yeah, I
and the other
posted
one
it before he put the arrow on.
Yeah, the other one is from down under, Australia.
Mate.
Yep. Not only they are lowering their fares, but they are increasing the service fee. They were at 20%. Or no, sorry, 22.5%. Their rate, Uber is saying now the service fee is going to go up to 27.5%.
Jesus.
And the rest of the email, actually, the one on the left may be also from down under. I don't know. I don't know if that's a US thing. But long story short, the one on the right, second part of the email is pretty much the same as the one on the left. Basically, Uber is saying what they said a decade ago, Chris. A decade. When I got my first rate cut. Okay. It says, no worries. We're going to cut the rates in order for you to make more money. Because if we cut the rates, the scale of the business, the ridership is going to grow, so that there'll be more orders for you, more trips, more requests. How did that work out for you, drivers, for the last 10 years? How did it work out for you? Did it work out well? And good old Harry says, literally, it doesn't say you're going to make less money. Harry, I think this will be a good crossfire topic. Look what it says, Harry. Look what it says in the box right there. What's it say, Chris? What's it say in that red box there?
We anticipate that these changes will lead to an increase in rider. No, what Harry didn't say you're going to make less. So originally I posted the screenshot, and this is before he highlighted that, because Harry had come back, because what I had said was only Uber would say that we're going to pay you less, but you're going to end up making more. And so Harry responded saying, nowhere here it says that you're going to make more. But I put, it's the inference that we anticipate that these changes will lead to an increase in rider demand and result in more trips for driver partners, which means they're saying we're going to pay you less, but you should make more because you have to give more rides.
That is the same hocus pocus they've been saying at every rate cut. I've been through 4. Yep. If you include upfront fares, 5. I know exactly what my rates were when the first day I started driving, all the way to right before upfront fares. Okay. And every time Uber cut the rates, they said exactly the same thing. This is new. This is from like a week ago. So obviously in Uber land, nothing changes. The same rules apply. However, Uber, here's my pushback on this. You have reached such scale now with 162 million customers already. See, in those days, they may have had a point. I never bought it, even 8 years ago, 10 years ago, 6 years ago, 4 years ago, on with upfront fares. I'm not buying this either. You lowering the fares on the drivers will never make drivers more money. Period. Nope. Not gonna happen. Math is math. I don't care what the way you look at it. When I first started in LA, this is 2016, early February. $1.40 a mile, 30 cents a minute. Okay? I got a cut, another cut, and the last one was cut in LA. 60 cents a mile and 21 cents a minute. $1.40 to 60 cents, 30 cents to 21 cents. Okay? You ask me, how can I make more money when you cut the mile and time and distance rates by 50 and 30%? right? You just that math don't add up, Uber. So
You know what
stop
that
with
means?
this
You have
bullshit.
to drive 100% more.
Well, that's what actually on the last earning calls they were proud of that, Chris. Both Lyft and Uber literally said that, and not one analyst who has $2 worth of balls came and said, because you're paying them peanuts. They are forced to drive more hours. They're not driving, they're driving more hours, double the hours, or 50% more hours to make the same, to gross the same that they grossed a year ago. Nobody will ask that, of course. Nobody will, right? The PR machine will
Well, you know
keep
what?
going on.
I don't know if it's necessarily that. I think it's that they just don't know. They're not in the industry itself. They're not the ones who are driving. They're the analyst or they're the reporter. They are doing their job and they're good at their job, but they don't understand the intricacies of driving and what it means
Well,
and paying all that.
the ones I talked to before every earnings call, they know.
Oh,
And the
then maybe some
jackasses
people
don't
don't.
know. So all I'm saying is, if you got this, I'm sorry. I mean, this is the one on the right. Adam is one of our viewers from down under. Not he's getting the double whammy. Not only his service fees are going up, which was limited to us to a how ours was 80-20, 75-25, right? Australia was like that. Now Uber says, okay, we're gonna bump it up to 27.5, but also we're gonna cut the rates, create more demand for you so you can make. Ultimately, you'll get more trips. We'll create more orders for you. I'm like, it's bullshit. Whatever. So, it is what it is. It's Uberland. Everything is
Yeah.
expected.
So the only company in the world that says, "Hey, we're going to pay you less, but we expect you're
You're
going to
gonna make
get
more.
more."
Yeah.
I call bull. I call bull.
You
After how
call
many times
bull.
we've seen that. But this is the exact reason why I continue to say you have to think outside the box. You have to think outside the box to help with getting better tips or to, create some sort of ancillary income when you're driving because that's going to help offset some of these costs of being lower. Um, so if you have to drive, 45 hours instead of 20 hours, or if you have to drive 80 hours instead of 40 hours, what you used to be driving, those are a couple of things. Then, downloading certain apps that will help you with planning out your day or your area or where it's going to be busy, what type of information, because this is taking information from drivers across the board who are using that particular app, like Solo.
Yeah.
And they're going to be able to help you hit those hot spots on where things are going to be working and picking up for you so you can actually go out there, work that, make more money. Play Octopus, another thing where you can make extra money for free, essentially. All you have is a couple of ads playing. Whoop-de-freaking do. I mean, you listen to the radio, you got ads playing. Why not get paid for it? But yeah, you got to think outside the box on these things in order to try to offset these lower costs so you can actually make more money. And then instead of making, X amount of dollars that you're getting paid from Uber or Lyft, you're making X plus one because you're thinking outside the box and doing more. I know it's hard for a lot of people who may want to do that because they just want to be simple and pick up point A to point B. And if that works for you, that works for you. But if you want to make extra money, sometimes you got to think outside the box and do different things.
Yeah. Chris, I don't know the answer to that. Not you, Chris, but Chris Lewis. Email me, Sergio at theRideShareGuy.com. I'll look into it. I don't think there is an app in Puerto Rico that is similar to Solo, but there may be one. I don't know.
I don't know.
I
Yeah,
will find
email
out.
Sergio and we can find out for you.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, it will cut the fares. You'll be
if
busier.
not, we can
Okay.
just always um,
All right.
tell Solo to go into Puerto Rico
Yeah.
if they
That's
have
one way.
enough demand, they can get in there.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, yeah. Thanks, Uber. Much appreciated. Same lingo all throughout. How did that work out for the last 8 years? Doesn't work out. I'm definitely not making the same money I was making 8 years
No,
ago, 6 years ago, 4 years ago, and with upfront fares. So that's it.
no. There's one more screenshot right there. Oh wait, hold on.
I have one more. Oh, this one was interesting. This is not about acceptance cancellation. Although I do like the acceptance cancellation numbers here. Not, I mean, accept AR numbers here. Now there is warnings going out when you decline trips, kind of, It's all about riders, buddy. It's all about riders. When drivers repeatedly reject trips requests, everything slows down. Chris, we need to make a video. Like, I should make a video. Can I insert my head inside Dara's interview with Harry? I can, right? We can do that, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna make a video, and we're gonna put that out there. DK, I speak to your people all the time. I know for you guys, the network is supposed to work smooth. Okay, good. Okay. And when you are on record saying, if you are not accepting trips, it's on us. Give us some time for the algorithm to learn. It's on us. That means we're not doing a good job pricing trips. It's your two lips moving. It's public. This is you. This is not the driver. This is actually a smart driver who probably watches us. Well, definitely. So send me this thing. It says, when drivers repeatedly reject trip requests, everything slows down. Riders wait longer to be picked up, and you and other drivers have to travel longer or farther picking up other passengers. If you paid me, if you are paying me $2 and change to pick a human up in 2024 and expect me to accept that happily, you have another thing coming. It ain't going to happen.
Hey everyone, Sergio here with the Rideshare Guy. What do we say on Show Me the Money Club? Work smarter, not harder. If you aren't using the Solo app, which I have been for the past year and a half, you may be working a lot harder than you need to. Let's change that. Download the app, link your account where you can manage your income, track your expenses, as well as your taxes. Not only that, but you can plan by optimizing your time, make more money, and even guarantee your daily pay with guaranteed earnings. Download the Solo app today. Begin to work smarter, not harder. Link is in the description. Let's get back to it.
We have grown. The channel has grown. People are learning. People are, passing the word around. And I totally believe this advantage versus standard thing is because in those 9 cities, people have learned to go, no thanks, no thanks, no thanks. And then some drivers go, when I drive, right, I get a good trip, I'm going to accept it. People get in my car, he goes, or she or he will say, oh my God, I waited like 15 minutes for a car. Yeah, because your ping traveled between God knows how many rejections because the man up there, Uber, did not price that trip correctly. Now, they priced it correctly for you, Mr. Rider, but they did not price it correctly to the driver. So people are going, no thanks, have a good one, no thanks. And this is what's happening. We're actually winning, people. We're seriously winning. They're kind of admitting, without admitting, that, well, now we have to have 2 categories. If you're not accepting, I'm only going to give you a trip radar. You have to go play Hunger Games. No problem. Now, if you were paying, if advantage versus, standard was 25% difference, do you think 5 is going to make a difference, Chris, between standard and advantage? Do you think I'm going to bust my ass to get my acceptance rate up? Hell no. But if you said, now there's a 25% difference between the pay of a standard versus advantage, everybody will start accepting more trips. You know what I'm saying? It's all about this, Uber. It ain't nothing to do with riders waiting, drivers this and that. So stop with this passive aggressive bullshit. Raise the fares. We'll take more trips for you.
Give me 1 second.
Did you get a message from Uber?
No, I'm looking for something.
My assistant at Uber.
What?
My assistant at Uber. I have an assistant at Uber. Don't you know that? Are you pulling out the Dara thing? Is that what you're doing? Yeah. No, I'm going to do a video. I'm just do a video and we're going to put it out.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the clip.
No, don't worry about it. We'll find it. Well, it's in the interview. We'll find it, and then I will make a video, and it will be perfectly timed.
Here's the thing.
We'll do some good editing.
Hey, Uber, you have a warning about when drivers repeatedly reject requests, everything slows down, riders wait longer to be picked up, and you have other drivers to travel further, picking up other passengers. Here's my warning to you. When you price rides wrong, drivers do not accept because they want to be paid fairly. That is on you. So that means you are slowing down your own systems by doing that.
And drivers are winning this battle. People, don't even hit the X, okay? That's what I do. When I'm rejecting, I don't hit the X. I let it ping out for 10 seconds. Screw that. Screw the network. Screw the platform. I'm not going to say screw the rider because they're paying the bills. Let it ping out. Because if you do click X, it goes to the next driver. That horrible offer that you're seeing, it goes to the next driver faster. So just let it ping out. Let it go.
Let it go. It's full 10 seconds.
Let it go.
It's gonna make a difference.
I swear to God, they're admitting, bro. On their blog, the first line, right, clearly says, we love riders coming back to our platform.
Yep.
Well, they're not. Well, they are on your platform, Uber, but they're not getting picked up. And I think drivers are winning.
Actually, you know what? Question for our audience right now. Are you, hopefully you're talking to your passengers. And my question to you is, are your passengers saying that they're waiting longer to get picked up? Are they noticing anything, or are they pretty much, expecting the time that they're getting picked up in? Usually you hear that as a complaint pretty good. So let me know what you're hearing, what you're seeing. But I would be interested to know.
I can't. We're definitely going to do those. Actually, we're going to do those videos because, this email that we showed from Uber. You're doing the same song and a dance from 10 years ago, Uber. Nobody's buying that bullshit anymore. Even the newbies are not buying. Even the newbies are watching channels like ours and other channels and saying, "Oh, wait a minute, this is how we play the game." So, this is not working, Uber. This just not going to work. So, wake up, people. Tell all your driver friends. Go to the airport. Tell them don't accept garbage. Decline garbage. Hashtag decline garbage. Hashtag know your worth. Otherwise, they can do whatever the heck they want. It's their platform. It's their app. I don't give a shit. But what they cannot do is they cannot force you to accept anything. Okay? There you go. It's in their TOS. They cannot.
Yeah. And until they understand that acceptance rate is going to continue to go down if rides are not priced accurately or fairly, and drivers understand that, they know that, and they're saying we're not going to take it. And that's why they're having this advantage versus standard driver come in. And then they're going to use all this stuff to try to modify. But the problem is, Uber, you came out and said, if you're accepting, or if you see drivers acceptance rates going down, you yourselves, Uber, are pricing trips wrong. You need to adjust those trips.
They are pricing
raising the rates.
Half the marketplace, they're pricing correctly, which is the rider. The other half is the driver. They're not pricing correctly. They are pricing half of it correctly. They're jacking them up and whatever they're doing, ripping a new one. But all of this bottom line is, people, you need to spread the news. We've been doing this for 2 years now, 2 years and 4 weeks or whatever. Show me the money. And from the first day, we said, decline garbage, know your worth. I'm wearing shirts that says decline garbage, know your worth. Okay? Because you got to know your worth. If you don't know your worth, if you think you're going to do a $2.35 trip in 2024, drive a mile, pick up a human, drop off a human for less than $3, which you're going to buy a pack of gum or half a gallon of gas, whatever the heck it is in California, then you don't know your worth. I'm sorry. I apologize. I mean, I don't want to sound rough, but you're an idiot if you're putting humans in your car for $2.35. Okay? So know your worth, man. It all starts here. Screw Uber, screw the riders, screw the platform, screw all of this. How many 235s, 260s, 350s, 450s you can put together to make $100 a day? I mean, come on, man. Get smart, people, and spread the word. We can do so much. Spread the goddamn word. All of you go to airports, queues, get out of your car. Say, decline garbage. Know your worth. Just go talk to everybody. Because
well, I gotta disagree with you, and I agree. Somebody in the comments said that they don't price rides correctly for riders either because they jack up the price.
Yeah,
That's what
absolutely.
they're willing to pay for it. Hey, that's on them. But when it comes down to it, again, this is why I say Uber and Lyft are primed for disruption. These other companies that are going to come in, they don't have the same overhead that they have to worry about with Uber. You don't have 33,000 employees that you have to pay for across the globe. You don't have to appease your shareholders and continue to try to get the stock to a certain price or go up. You don't have to do this with these other companies that are coming in. So these companies that are coming in are prime disruptors to disrupt these companies, Uber and Lyft already. We talked with Cory Doctorow, the enshittification, and this is just something that it's going to start happening, and you're going to see things change and they be disrupted, and it only happens quicker as technology moves faster. So you're going to have new companies that come in. It might be local, like something like Y-Ride, which is in San Francisco. You might have something like Rides, which is expanding, faster in different areas. So who knows what it could potentially be? It may not even be a company that's born yet. It may be something that's completely different. There's so many different companies out there right now, and it's only going to take a matter of time before they become the Uber of rideshare in terms of, the brand recognition. When that happens, Uber and Lyft are done, especially if they don't have to worry about being a public company.
I respect Uber and Lyft in one area and one area only. Okay. I know this stuff inside out, okay, with my finance background. To create a marketplace is one of the most difficult things ever to be done. Okay. It's really, really difficult. And to scale it to their size, it's really, really almost impossible. That's why it took Uber $30 billion to create this massive marketplace now. Okay. The new companies, and I'm working with one, and I'll announce it next week. We're going to do an actual town hall with drivers, with our partners. Okay. It's called Y-Ride. It's in San Francisco. We signed up 2,000 drivers. Okay. The point I'm trying to make is they have created this marketplace, amazing marketplace. We don't need to recreate the wheel. These new companies who will ultimately disrupt Uber's and Lyft's shenanigans are going to be companies that keep it simple, stupid. No algorithms, no hocus pocus, none of this bullshit, two-sided marketplace, miles and minutes, and we're doing all these things. So all I'm telling you, people, is if you don't know your worth,
appreciate the super chat. Thank you.
I cannot emphasize enough. It all starts here, right? You got to know your worth first. Screw Uber, screw everything, screw all of it. Maybe you're doing the same thing with your own. Maybe if you have a W-2, maybe you're not asking for more money or a raise. But all I'm saying to you is that I cannot emphasize enough for you guys to make sure that when you're picking up a trip, it's worth your time. It's worth to do. And most people, I'm hoping, is doing it. And all these things that they're bringing around, kind of proves the point that people are going, okay, man, we're not afraid of declining. We're going to just decline. Bye. I'm not going to do it. And people are going to tell me now, seriously, I'll get probably emails right after the show. But Serge, I have to make $200 a day. Okay. I got you. But if you're out there with that goal to make $200 a day, cash flow only, and then I would highly recommend you don't do this for a full-time career. Okay, drive your part-time, make your $100. You have your whole gaps to close in your own from your W-2s. You're doing it part-time. I got it. Okay, then you may have to accept a few garbage chips because you have $1 goal in mind. But if you're doing this full-time, we have so many drivers here who are still making decent money by not accepting everything, not accepting garbage. And please, I plead with you, don't accept these trips and make the platform fail. Send the message is loud and clear to me. They lied. He lied. He lied to Harry. Flat out. It's a year and 2 years later now. We have upfront. By the way, didn't upfront come with the expectation that because now they're showing us the destination, right? Acceptance rates are going to go up. Remember, right? We didn't know where we were going before. That's how upfront came. No, upfront came. You see the destination in exchange of making less money. That's the exchange. That's a horrible fucking exchange. So we'll figure this out. It's okay.
All right, thanks for watching. That short little clip was from our live stream, Show Me the Money Club with Sergio and myself, Tuesdays, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. Make sure you subscribe, turn on all notifications so you get notified when we go live, as well as all of our awesome content. Make sure to check out this video right here, which will take you to the entire live stream, or check out this video right there. All right, drive smart, everyone.